Alright, so now we've talked about specifically what a copyright law is or a copyright, what they are. We've talked about specific court cases and court decisions regarding copyright laws. So now we'll talk a little bit about copyright laws and their link to education. So copyright laws are linked as oftentimes the issue between the two is when are students and educators able to use copyrighted material in the classroom as part of their lessons and their products they complete as part of those lessons. So, as a loose part of the 1976 Copyright Act, students and educators are allowed to use specific copyrighted materials through this act called the Fair Use Act. And this act essentially just allows for the use of these copyrighted materials for several purposes, and these purposes alone, essentially. So, these purposes themselves are criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. As long as it is used for one of these reasons, it should be fine to use a copyrighted material according to this Fair Use Act. So essentially, to meet the terms and be allowed to use copyrighted material without permission, one must perform what is called a four-factor test for this copyrighted material to be employed in your lesson as part of your lesson as a product of student learning. So these four factors themselves are number one, the purpose of use. What are you using this for, essentially? Two would be the nature of the work itself. Number three would be the amount that it is used. So talking about the nature of the work again, it could be a video, it could be a picture, could be a line of text even. And then number three, jumping back to this, the amount used is how much is it essentially used in your lesson or however you are using it. And our last and arguably the biggest effect at looking at this Fair Use Act is the effect on the market. What will the effect of you using this copyrighted material have on the market? So in identifying materials, copyrighted materials to use under the Free Use Act, which would be legal in this case, one must look at these four factors. So again, those are purpose of use, the nature of the copyrighted work being used, the amount it is used, and the effect on the market.